Hello and welcome to the England B Team podcast, a football podcast brought to you by an Englishman who wasn't good enough to make it as a professional footballer, and of course an Irishman
who wasn't good enough to play for England.
There you go. My name's Joe and this is my co-host Gareth, and we're here to talk about all things football.
Right, we've got the introduction out of the way.
Okay.
Shall we get started? Yeah. So, brand new football podcast. Should we start about the name first of all?
I think so,
Do you want
to tell our listeners about that?
Yeah, the England B Team. That obviously comes from a movie that we all know and love very much. Mike Bassett, England manager. When was the first time you saw that?
I think it's when I was in school, just before university. I was at my mate's house and we got back from a night out or something, and I don't even think it was even in preparation for a tournament. Just
really? Just randomly?
Watching it, yeah.
I watch it every year.
Never heard of it before, but
so this is recently, like when you were
I was like 17, 18, I think.
Yeah.
But
I watched it the first time when I was about, what year did it come out? It must be about 2001, 2002.
Yeah.
They do poke at Beckham and stuff in it, so it must be that kind of time.
Yeah, it must have been around the 2002 World Cup, I think.
Would have been. Yeah, so I watched it the first time then, but I watch it religiously every year before a football tournament.
Yeah, a lot of my friends do that. I don't think I watch it as much as you do, but
you definitely don't know.
I've probably watched it a few times. But it's on YouTube, as in
it
someone's
is,
uploaded it because it's
such
a low quality film or old film.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I should get this out of the way then quickly. I am an Irishman, a very proud Irishman, but when it comes to major international football tournaments, I do support England. Now, please don't switch off already, okay? There's a reason for that. We'll get to that in the later podcast, but don't fucking switch off already, okay? I have my reasons, trust me. Anyway, the England B Team podcast, it comes from that scene.
There we go.
There's the scene in the airport where the assistant manager to Mike Bassett, whose name escapes me now, when the other teams are arriving and the Ireland team rocks up, he says, let's hear it for the England B Team. So being Irish, he's English. We thought that's a great way to go about it.
It works out really well.
We did have a couple of other options for the podcast name. David Healy's hat-trick. I was a big fan of that one.
Yeah.
Didn't quite make the final cut.
But my girlfriend's Spanish, so I didn't want to offend her with that, so yeah.
Oh yeah, true, that was against Spain, yeah. So yeah, anyway, that's where the idea of the podcast comes from. We're going to introduce ourselves here, first of all, and we'll get rolling. My name's Gareth. As you can hear, I am Irish. I'm from Belfast. I am dying from hay fever at the minute, so if you hear any sniffs in the recording, that is not intentional. I'm really sorry for that. It's nothing to do with, anyway. We're not going into that. I don't want to be demonetized before we even fucking started. So history in football, should we start there?
Can I introduce myself first, maybe?
No. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'll say hi to the camera. My name's Joe. As you can probably tell, I am English, from the south of England. I won't tell you where, not very interesting anyway. But yeah, we both live in Germany now. I've been here for about 3 years on and off. Gareth, you've been here for
4 years, unfortunately,
Yeah, escaping Brexit and that, not to make it political, but
yeah, demonetized.
But yeah, I'd say we're very, very happy in Germany. But of course, we still follow all things English football and now German football and everything football. So pretty much as we said, it's a football podcast. Maybe do you want to tell the listeners and viewers about a bit about you in football? What have you done in football?
About me in football?
What are you doing in football now, maybe?
Well, I think that's more interesting. So my background in football doesn't go that far back, to be totally honest. I didn't play really. I did play for my BB team. You used to have the BB in England? The Boys Brigade?
No.
That's another thing for another day. We'll not get into that. That
could be another topic.
Yeah, anyway. I played for that team. That was first Macagall. We won the league 3 years in a row. We won most games 12 or 13-0. I was about 9 or 10 when I played for them.
What
played
position?
Left back.
Okay.
Left back.
Left back in the change room.
Yeah. I had to be brought on as a sub every game. My mum would complain if I didn't. And I scored 1 goal in the year where we scored, I think, 120 goals that season. I scored 1 goal. And tell you this first story, you'll love this. It was the day of the 11 plus results. You guys don't have the 11 plus anymore. Neither do we, but we had it longer. And I drove out that morning to meet the postman to get my 11 plus results before the game. I got an A. Went down. We played
really motivated.
Yeah, buzzing, cloud 9. Went out. We were playing second Lisburn, who were also top of the league last day. Big decider for the end of the year. We won 3-1. I scored from 1 yard out with my left foot and did the airplane to celebrate. And then my mum took me and bought me a Shark CX-10. I didn't score. I scored 1 goal.
Okay.
So yeah, the airplane just came naturally. It sort of went there. So in terms of a playing career, that's as far as I got. I stopped when I was about 12. I played 1 season at Lisburn Youth, who I want to say now Martin O'Neill played for them, but that could be absolute bollocks. So
Okay. Yeah,
scrap that.
We can fact check
Anyway,
that afterwards.
where did your career start? Where did your playing career start and go?
Oof. Didn't go very far, obviously. Ended by
Injury.
yeah. I done my cruciate ligament
yeah.
in my left knee when I was 13, and then a year later I got my appendix taken out, and after
Really?
that it was
How does
It
an
was game
appendix
over.
affect football?
I mean, I was in hospital for like a week nearly because it was like
Oh, yeah,
infected. Again, let's
That
not
was
go,
the career
it's
over,
not a
yeah.
medical podcast anyway. But yeah, I started playing for a team in the town next to me when I was 5 years old.
Uh-huh.
Played for them until I was 13. I say I played in most positions. Sometimes I was a striker, especially for the last team I played for because they were pretty poor to fit.
What kind of striker? Hang on, actually, sorry, paint a picture for me. What year are we talking here, roughly? You're a bit younger than I am, believe it or not.
Yeah, early days, I was a right back all the time. Obviously, when you're playing 7-a-side, it's more like 2 defenders, 2 midfielders, 1 striker, and a goalkeeper. So it's more like the right defender and the 7-a-side.
Yeah.
Sometimes in midfield. And obviously, I had quite a hard kick, so a lot of the time, from kickoff, they passed the ball back to me, and I just route one it, and I scored a few from there. So
Classic.
that was kind of my signature move.
Yeah.
Whether it is good or not. And then maybe into 11-a-side I was at right back and then central midfield for a bit. I was in the A team of this team for a while and then got demoted, but I think
Do they have a senior team or is this a youth team?
This is a youth team.
Okay.
This is,
Do they have a senior team?
Now I think they do.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's changed. They've got like a proper ground and everything now.
Oh really? Wow.
Like a field. Like we used to play in literally it was literally called a meadow. Like there's proper like
Love it. Yeah.
field. And I played centre mid for a bit, and then done my knee injury, and I joined a new team who probably could have been the worst team in the area.
Okay.
But I was looking to take football that seriously. Then I played striker for a bit that season. I think I scored like 12 goals, maybe 10.
That's a decent return for a striker.
And actually, for my old club, we used to
not.
keep the records. I think I had like 23 goals in 200 games. Not too bad for a defender.
That is not bad
goal
at
in
all,
10
yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Like, bit of a Ivanovic. And now I don't play, but I kind of want to play. So any viewers, if you've got a team in Cologne, hit me up.
Yeah, if you're looking for a shite right back with an appendix, with a burst appendix,
There we go.
this is your man.
There we go.
So tell me about football now. What are you involved in? What do you do with football?
Well, I've started.
What gives you the right to start a football podcast?
I mean, I've got pretty good football knowledge.
I know you do.
Yeah, I mean, we should probably tell the team about our teams and stuff as well. But before that, so in football now, I'm on TikTok, so follow me on TikTok, JoeFootball96.
Yeah.
But football spelled the Spanish way. And again, I want to kind of try play again.
Can you say football in the Spanish way, just for our viewers?
Football.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
Just
fine.
for our bilingual
That,
viewers.
that might sound wrong. We can add the translation anyway.
We can add
but
subtitles, don't worry,
Yeah, before we talk about our teams, maybe you can say a bit about you in football.
Yeah, well, as I said, a very short playing career that ended the day I got the Sharp GX10 flip phone and my life turned upside down. But since then, watched football, big football fan. But I have the pleasure now of working for Bayern Leverkusen. So I'm a tour guide at the stadium, so it does give me some authority. I do have to say, okay, it's in my contract that I have to say this, all opinions are my own, okay?
Of course.
So if my boss is watching, I swear to God, it is all my own opinions. Please don't sack me. I love this job. Please don't get rid of me. But that's it. So that's why I've got this beautiful 2002 Bayern Leverkusen home jersey. Bit of a fan of that.
So you've got a bit of a affiliation with Bayer Leverkusen now.
Certainly so, yeah. So
And me as well, to be honest.
yeah.
But we can
Well, you're a member as well.
Yeah, so I'm now a member at Bayer Leverkusen.
The 29,999th member.
Of course. So close to being the 30,000. They actually got that presented on the pitch. Obviously we both do live in Cologne now, which has also, I'm sure you know, a very big football team. I'm talking to the listeners, by the way. I know you know that. But very, very popular, very difficult to get tickets. I got kind of when I was younger, I had a bit of affiliation with I like Bayer Leverkusen, got a lot of links to Chelsea, but we can touch on that a bit later, of course.
We will. Although you had a Cologne jersey, remember you telling me?
I did.
You
But I have a
gorgeous-
football shirt from all the places I've lived, apart from Plymouth. I studied in Plymouth, but I don't have
You
that.
don't have a Plymouth Argyle top?
No, I have a Dortmund top, and
Do you know Plymouth Argyle are one of the teams that have never played in the Premier League? I read that today.
I thought it was the biggest city that hadn't, but no, it was another city. If it hadn't, I think it was Rotherham was the biggest one that hadn't played in the Premier League.
Oh, do you know the German city? The biggest German city that's never had a team in the Bundesliga?
east or west or north or south?
Not far from here.
Really?
So I should say to the
Aachen?
listeners,
No, Aachen.
Alemannia
yeah.
Aachen have been in the Bundesliga. We should say for the listeners, we are living in Cologne, as we've just touched on. In this region, the North Rhine-Westphalia, you'll get a lot of Bundesliga clubs, so we're quite blessed here.
A lot.
So within an hour's train of here, we've got obviously FC Köln. I don't like talking about them too much. Bayer Leverkusen, Fortuna Düsseldorf, Bochum, Borussia Dortmund, FC Schalke, Borussia Mönchengladbach. So we're quite blessed in this region. But there is
Aachen as well.
A city in this region that has never had a team in the Bundesliga, and I believe, again, I could be talking shite here, but I believe it's the biggest city in Europe and that's never had a team in a main league.
What does it begin with?
B.
I have no idea. Bonn?
Yeah.
Ah, of course.
There you are.
Yeah.
Bonn do have a team. SV Bonner, I think.
Yeah, Bonner SC.
Yeah.
Bonner SC, yeah. Some of my colleagues used to watch them.
5th division.
I have no
Regionalliga.
idea. Yeah, I used to be the capital of Germany as well back in the day.
Yeah, that's right.
Not to make this a history podcast, but yeah. Yeah, wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I completely forgot about Bonn. It's so close, but didn't even.
But yeah, so anyway, to circle back, we're both doing Leverkusen now.
Yes.
As I said, you were the 29,999th member. We should explain that. When Joe signed up for his membership, a week later, the 30,000th member was presented with an award on the pitch.
There we go.
And I do think you were about 1 or 2 off.
I think so too.
From my insights.
It might have been a bit of an awkward situation since I don't speak German very well, at least.
No.
But they're quite an international club, to give Leverkusen their credit. Like they're
famously so, yeah.
Yeah, like their website is in English.
And Spanish.
Yeah, of course. I think the CEO is
Spanish, Fernando Cara, yeah.
Speaking at least, yeah. And yeah, so that's us and Bayer Leverkusen. I wouldn't say I'm a fan just yet. I'm kind of, I'm getting there. I'm enjoying watching football regularly, and it's a really good club, and it's a great stadium.
What do you think? What makes a fan? When you cross that line to becoming a friend of the club or an admirer to being a full-blown fan?
I don't know. I think it's my business to say, really. Like, I don't think there's like strict criteria.
Well, when would you class yourself as a Bayer Leverkusen fan? What has to happen?
I don't know if I ever will. Like,
oh really?
Just always.
Are you a one club man? Are you that kind of person? You can always support one team.
Like that's what else we can touch on next, maybe. And our first club is actually both the same club as well.
Yeah.
And, yeah. It is Chelsea.
Yeah.
As you can probably tell by the shirt. Maybe I'll just start with that. Yeah, from a very young age, Chelsea drilled into me.
Yeah, so proper Chelsea fans, by the way, you should say this. Before the money, pre-Abramovich.
Before the money, before the trophies.
You have a bit more legitimacy than I do, but yeah.
Yeah, but again, like, who are we to say?
So go ahead, tell us all.
Your connection to Chelsea. My great-granddad, actually born near Chelsea, I think it was 1912 maybe, so 7 years after the club was founded.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I didn't actually know this.
No, proper Chelsea, and then of course his son, my granddad, was a Chelsea fan until he passed.
So your family are all from West London, right back then?
Yeah,
or around that area.
Yeah, so my granddad.
I didn't know that.
He was raised, I think, for a while near the stadium. He even told me that like his mum used to take, obviously back in the day when there was less security, she used to take tea and coffee to the groundsman. Like a Stamford Bridge,
Look, that's really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there we go. And yeah, he was a season ticket holder until he passed a couple of years ago. He even went to Munich for the final 2012 at 75. Bless him. And then a year later to Amsterdam for the Europa League final.
75 for that.
Yeah, it was a good. He loved
it. That's a big age.
He also really liked Germany as well, so it's a good day out for him in Munich.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
Yeah. And then that season ticket passed on to my brother. My mum was also a Chelsea fan, obviously on my granddad's side. Yeah. My dad, I'd say he's an honorary Chelsea fan. Didn't have much choice if he wanted to marry my mum, so he's now Chelsea as well. Yeah. He has a bit more of a link to Wrexham actually, because his parents are from Wrexham.
Yeah, before it was cool to support Wrexham as well.
Of course, yeah. So, we've got all these...
Oh, you've been to Wrexham, haven't you? Oh, you went to Wembley?
I went to Wembley to watch Wrexham against Grimsby in 2013.
Johnson's
FA Trophy. No,
FA
even
Trophy.
Below the FA Trophy is non-league.
That's
league.
True, yeah.
And yeah, so Chelsea, I don't know how many games I've been to. Probably, I don't know. I try to keep track, but a lot of times I used to go with my granddad's season ticket, so you don't actually get the paper ticket.
Yeah, and you've got the ground hopping app now, though, haven't you?
True.
Do you still keep up with that? Do you?
I do. Yeah.
Don't
go to Chelsea as much as I'd like to nowadays, living in Germany, because it's.
No. When was your last? Oh, you went last year, didn't you?
I went last year to Chelsea Brentford when Rudiger scored the opener from like 35 yards.
It was a blinder of a goal, and then we lost, didn't we?
4-1.
Yeah.
Oh God, maybe we can go on another episode. We go into our favourite games, but there's one that really sticks in my mind. It was Chelsea versus Stoke. It was 4-2 Chelsea, and it was just really back and forth game. I think it was like 2007.
Balletti
no,
scored.
It was like 2014 to
no.
17. I can't remember the actual date. But then Willian scored like a very late goal. It was like really good atmosphere. And of course, the Champions League nights are also great.
I saw Chelsea Stoke. Getting the year right is going to be hard. Balletti scored. Giuliano Balletti scored. So what year are we talking? Like 2010, 11, something around that? Or was he Big Phil signing? Big Phil signed him?
He's in 2008-9. I remember he scored a really good goal against Tottenham.
He scored a blinder against Stoke. We won 3-2, but it was 2 last-minute winners, and we left the ground early and missed both goals.
No, it wasn't. Balletti, no, is it one? I think
Lampard scored as well. Lampard scored the winner, I think. Maybe Balletti scored the winner.
Do you know who got the assist for Lampard, that goal? I think got the assist.
Well, I left the stadium, so no, I don't.
Miroslav Stoch. Do you remember him?
Miroslav Stoch.
I think he's Slovakian or Slovenian, I'm not sure.
Slovakian, pretty sure. Went to play in Germany for a while. He was meant to be the next big thing.
Hamburg, maybe. I don't know.
I feel like he was, yeah.
But yeah, he came on in that game. I remember, got the
number
assist.
47 or something.
And Ballack
really
Michael Ballack tried to claim that goal because he reckons it hit him on the head. Lampard.
Oh really?
He ran away celebrating. I remember that.
See, I don't remember that. I left the fucking stadium.
So yeah, again, I wouldn't say I have a football knowledge in the tactic sense, but memory of like games and players, I'm pretty spot on with this.
Yeah, you are. To be fair, your knowledge is quite impressive. Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons why we decided to start this podcast.
So hopefully that's interesting to the viewers and listeners. Talking about
fuck you.
Talking about. Hey, we don't want to offend the listeners too early.
Sorry.
But yeah, talking about random football facts, our experiences, etc. So maybe again we'll go into why we're doing a podcast.
Well, that's what this podcast is going to be, isn't it? We haven't really made our minds up exactly what we're going to do with it, but we've spent many a night in pubs, in other places as well, at football matches, talking shite. And then we thought, what does the world need now? It needs 2 more white guys talking about football. So here you are. It's exactly what you needed. We're getting cancelled already, aren't we?
No.
So that's what we're going to be doing with this. Just talking on, we're going to be giving a lot of anecdotes because I love talking shite. So that's my skill.
Sounds good.
And as you're saying that about that game, so I left that game early, the Stoke game, which was something I was always told not to do, but I was with my mum for that game. Normally I would go with my dad, divorced
getting
parents.
out of Chelsea.
Shouldn't leave games early.
It used to be difficult getting out of Chelsea as well.
It is, going through the Broadway.
Fulham Broadway. We used to walk.
But you shouldn't do it.
We used to walk via Earl's Court.
So did I.
There's West Brompton Cemetery. We used to walk through there, but obviously it closes when it's dark. But like before the game, we walked through there. But
I left that game early, and I shouldn't have, because my dad was at the 1998 FA Cup final against Middlesbrough when Di Matteo scored the 16th second or 17th second, and my dad was taking a piss. 43. He wore number 16. Sorry, my dad was taking a piss and missed the goal. So now my dad will never leave a football game early. And when we go with my mum, we decided to. And no, I won't. And I also truly believe this. You've seen this firsthand. I truly believe I have a skill where if Chelsea are losing, I have one piss in me
and
that's going to get Chelsea to score.
Didn't work for Leverkusen.
So I will save it. Never works.
But hey, we need a bit of hope. We need a bit of hope.
Right, so we've got through that. Our backgrounds in football have got through. We're both Chelsea fans. We're both Leverkusen. Well, we'll say close enough. At some point, you're going to be a fan. By the way, on that, I feel like the day I know I'm a fan is when I cry when the team loses.
Okay, have you cried when Leverkusen lost yet?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty strong. Yeah.
Plus, I'm contractually obliged to say I'm a Leverkusen fan. So
there you go. Exactly. No choice.
I fucking have though. So yeah. Okay. So we've told why we're doing a podcast. I've got my notes up
maybe
here.
Now, what can you expect from us in this podcast? A bit more about that.
Well, why don't you tell them what they can expect from me, and I'll tell them what we can expect from you. What am I going to bring to the party, and I'll tell them what you're going to bring.
Good crack, as you say in Ireland.
Thank you very much.
But of course, at the end of the day, this is a serious football podcast. We want to talk about interesting stuff for the listeners and the viewers.
That's where Joe comes in.
And of course, maybe in the future, we might have guests. We want your input. Let's see how this goes. But we both talk about our experiences in football at Chelsea or in Germany.
I think particularly the German football experience coming from the viewpoint of an Irish person and an English person. Yeah. We've been to lower league games. We've been to Fortuna Köln, Victoria Köln. Yeah, we've been to the grounds. You were at Gladbach last weekend. We've seen about a bit, and I feel like
as well back in the day.
You have. That's right. So I feel like that's something interesting.
And of course, we could do reviews of or previews of seasons or games or news.
So that's all in the
favourite players, of course.
That's all in the hype works.
Yeah. And of course, as being Chelsea fans, never a shortage of news and stuff to talk about with
No,
Chelsea.
there isn't.
So we don't want to make this a official, like, proper Chelsea-focused podcast, but of course,
it might
with it
be.
being our team, it's going to be a topic every now and then.
It will be. And Leverkusen will pop up every now and then because I'm there
Leverkusen,
most
German
days.
football, European football in general.
We got some fun games planned. We have got some guests planned,
Yes.
but we haven't booked them yet, so we'll not say anything about
Don't
that
get
yet.
too excited, they're not super high profile, but
Well,
you never know.
Rudy Feller is on the way. He's
Got
not.
Xabi Alonso on here.
No.
Can we say that?
No, we can't.
No.
No, we can't. We'll cut that out. But yeah, there'll be a bit of everything this podcast. We're still sort of working out what we're going to be doing with it. We'll see how it goes every week. We've got a lot of plans. We've got a lot of things set in stone. We've got a couple of scripts written, so we'll be going from there. Yeah. But today, why don't we say what we're going? What can we expect today? What are we going to get up to today?
So, obviously, because it's the introduction and we've been waffling for a while now, we don't want to make the first episode too long. So we're going to dive into kind of a topic that's kind of close to both of us, which is players that have played for both Chelsea and Bayer Leverkusen.
Well, this is a great start. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
think when I first came to Germany, I was trying to pick a team to support, and Leverkusen stood out just because of that connection with Chelsea.
Yeah, of
and
course.
as you said, it was a lot easier to get tickets as well. But that connection with Chelsea
And a great
was always
club.
there. So
And a great club.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then
so that's kind of where we're going in for today. But before that, we wanted to get warmed up a bit on our football knowledge.
oh yeah, I've got some good ones for this. Yeah. So
So-
why don't you tell the lovely viewers?
So
what
yeah,
we've got
I'm
planned?
sure. Again, I don't know if I'm looking at the camera. It is going to mix it up. So I'm sure, as you know, the Wikipedia challenge. Kind of, you look at the career path
Yeah.
of a player on Wikipedia. Sometimes it'll be like team by team. Sometimes it'll be like reading them out all in one go. We'll do it however you want to do it. But yeah, that's kind of our warm up. Maybe this will be a regular occurrence. Maybe it'll be other things. Of course, now on TikTok, there's like football tic tac toe, etc. You know,
I'm quite good at that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoy that one as well. But for today,
So we've
We'll
got a
do
Wikipedia one now.
Wikipedia.
I will say, full disclaimer, we genuinely haven't told each other these
No.
answers yet. I genuinely don't know what's coming.
No.
So we prepared 3 each
Mm-hmm.
of the Wikipedia career path. Because I'm more serious about this, I prepared some graphics.
I have not, but we'll put this on screen for you. When
So
this
it'll be
episode is
down-
released.
It'll be just here. Well, yeah, I'm doing the editing. So
Yes.
it'll be
Yeah.
just here for all of you. So we're going to be bringing up the club's badges. Do you want to go first or will I go first?
I'll go first.
So you want me to give you one first?
No, I'm gonna tell
You're
you.
gonna send it to me
I put
first?
it on my phone to be rude.
So,
Get my phone out.
Are you
But
going to send it to me or I'm just going to look at it?
I'll just let you look at it.
You can let me
But
look at it.
I need to read it out first for the listeners.
Okay, so just
We'll
before
go
we're
a
sure
bit
here,
easy first.
just before we start, I just want to say exactly what's happening. So the game is very simple. You'll be given a list of the clubs that a player has played for, and by the list of the clubs, you have to guess who the player is. Now, Joe's doing the Wikipedia version, which means I'll also get the years, which will make it a bit easier.
Yeah.
I've done graphics for you with just the logos of the clubs
That's okay.
and the path that
But
they
then
follow.
kind of seeing the logos also makes you a bit.
Does trigger it a bit.
Yeah.
Does trigger it a bit. So, go ahead, hit me with the
I'm kind
first
of
one.
flex that I've got football knowledge, and let's see if that's been backed up now.
I will say Joe's football knowledge is excellent. Mine is
Don't pick me up
very,
too much.
very questionable. Okay, but
Wait, actually, I need to zoom in a bit because it's.
unless they played for Lisbon Distillery, I am not getting this.
All right, so
So for the audio listeners, do you want to read out the
Yes.
teams first?
I'm gonna go without the years, just when I'm reading it out.
Yeah, please do.
Norwich City, to Blackburn, to Chelsea, to Celtic, to Birmingham, to
No.
Aston Villa, to Wroxham, not Wrexham.
No, it's Chris Sutton.
Indeed it is.
Right,
there
yes,
we go. Look,
there
I
we
tried
are.
to warm up easy.
That was a good one. Right, do you want to do 3 for me and then I'll do your 3?
No,
Or
it's just a bit of tennis back and forth.
okay, do you want
Can
to?
I
You want go to your laptop and I will. I'll just send it to your laptop because I'm much more organised. So you're going to get a set of logos. They will come up here, probably. I don't know if I can be arsed doing it yet.
This is gonna work.
Oh, maybe
I
not.
can also look at your screen if you want.
You probably just could do that. Oh wait, hang on, it says waiting.
There we go.
We're all about professionalism here on the England
Yeah.
B Team podcast.
Hey gang! Hey everyone, Joe here. A bit of apology from our side. Unfortunately, our camera gave out halfway through the recording. So yeah, you have to make do with some interesting graphics for the rest of the video for the listeners on YouTube. But yeah, all the audio listeners on Spotify, etc. No issues there. So yeah, you can ignore this message.
Okay, so
This is not it. Where's the photo? Here you go.
this is your first
Ty
one.
Kesman.
Fuck. Seriously, did you get that quickly?
Yeah.
Did you recognise all the logos?
You got Partizan, PSV, Chelsea, Atletico, Fenerbahce.
PSG was on loan, I think,
Zenit.
and then he joined permanently.
And then he went to China, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, that's South China. They're just called South China
Bate
football team.
Borisov,
And
the last
Bate
one.
Borisov, yeah.
There we go.
So I had a clue prepared if you didn't get it that quickly,
Okay.
but obviously got it very quickly.
Okay,
But there was
I'll-
that rumour for a while that Matthias Kesman became a monk. Did you ever read that?
No, interesting.
Did you ever read that?
No.
That Matthias Kesman had left football because he wanted to become a monk. Or he was previously a monk. It was one of those two. And I remember specifically we signed Kesman the same year we signed Robin. And it was
Batman.
Kesman and Robin, yeah.
His name was-
And I think Kesman had like the mask because he used to wear the mask when he scored for PSV.
Yeah.
But he scored like 3 goals for Chelsea. His first goal was a penalty, I remember,
Against
that he wasn't
Newcastle.
meant to take.
Yeah.
And they sort of
Yeah.
pitied him. I thought he was a
There's
baller.
a Panenka as well.
It was actually, yeah, the balls
Then
on
he
him. Did
scored-
not score for 7 months.
Good score in the Carling Cup final though against Liverpool.
Was it? Oh, that
Very
was the
scrappy goal.
Yeah,
goal
it was.
line.
Yeah.
And he got a couple of goals away at Norwich. Again.
Also, that Carling Cup final, by the way, I will still stand by this. When people talk about the Carling Cup, now the League Cup for our younger viewers, or the similar thing with the UEFA Conference League, when we first won that trophy with Jose Mourinho, that was the start of the success with Chelsea. I think winning that Carling Cup is really what got the ball rolling.
I feel like back then as well it was a bit more meaningful trophy as well.
Was it, or did it become meaningful after Chelsea won it?
Yeah, maybe.
Because I think previously that was the Worthington Cup.
Worthington Cup, yeah, I remember Liverpool.
I do remember
won that.
Spurs won that as well.
Yeah, of course, many teams won.
I think
that.
Blackburn
Used to
won
be
that
the
as well.
Milk Cup as well, and the Coca-Cola Cup.
The Milk Cup still exists. That's the youth trophy in Northern Ireland.
Oh, okay.
I think it's still called the Milk Cup. Someone will correct me on this, but the
But
Milk
at least
Cup,
had it in England as well.
it might be.
Yeah.
But the Milk Cup is a youth tournament in Ireland, in Northern Ireland. And usually like Chelsea go to it as well. United will send a team over Juventus and they'll play in Northern Irish grounds. I remember the year 2006 we signed Shevchenko. I went to watch the Chelsea youth team and wore a Shevchenko 7 jersey.
There we go. Another disappointing striker at Chelsea.
Yeah, that's definitely one day. That's going to be an
could be an
episode. The
episode.
number
Yeah,
7
easy.
curse and shite Chelsea strikers. Okay, give me another one before you start waffling.
Alright.
That was too easy for both.
This
of us.
one's
Fuck, we
a
nailed that.
long one.
Okay, so give me the
Alright.
clubs for the audio listeners. I will do that with mine actually as well. I forgot to do that. You got that so quickly.
Portuguesa, Real Madrid, Flamengo, Bayer Leverkusen, Bayern Munich, do you know it? Club Nacional de Football, Santos, Bayern Munich, Hamburg, Al Galahafa, I'm sorry if I butchered that, Grêmio and Palmeiras.
Okay, so I'm immediately thinking it's a Brazilian player.
Would you like to see?
No, I don't want to know yet.
Would you like to see the...
No, it's okay. I've got it in my
Okay.
head.
We'll
So I'm going to guess Brazilian. And the other problem with that is, fun fact, from being a tour guide, the most represented nationality at Bayer Leverkusen after German is Brazilian.
in history.
I think they've had 15
Interesting.
Brazilians play for them.
Wow, okay.
And I know them all, so I'm going to get this. If it is a Brazilian, I am going to get this. But I think
Let's go another minute or so.
the Real Madrid,
Flamengo,
Bayern Munich as
Leverkusen,
well.
Bayern Munich, Hamburg, and then back to Brazil for the end of his career. Very long career as well.
there's 2 that I'm thinking of. Is it Zé Roberto?
It is indeed.
Yes, who have got the back
On the
of
back of
shirt
your
right
shirt, there you go.
now. It's either him or Emerson. They both went.
Super healthy
Munich as
guy,
well.
isn't he? Like,
Is he? Yeah.
I think I saw him like he's still like super ripped, even like. In
I featured him
40s.
in my Bundesliga haircuts thing. He had some mad haircuts back in
Yeah.
the day. Zé Roberto, that's a good one. Okay, I'll send you
Alright.
this. I thought this one was a bit harder, but I think you're going to get this straight away now,
Okay,
which
let's
is a
have a
little bit
look.
annoying. I didn't want to go too hard for you. I wanted to go easy on you. So for the audio listeners,
My last one's very.
before you guess, please let me read it out just quickly because you want to get this quickly. For the audio listeners,
I'm gonna look.
the clubs are River Plate, FC Porto, Atletico Madrid, Monaco, United, Chelsea, Galatasaray, and Rayo Vallecano.
Falcao.
I'm gonna make it harder next time.
Yeah, I mean,
He's still playing.
he is at Rayo Vallecano. Yeah,
Did not know that.
they had a very good season actually.
Well, you follow the league quite well. How's he getting on?
I don't think he played that much. 'Cause they did.
37, I
they
think, now,
signed
isn't he?
Raul de Thomas, who's a really good striker from Espanyol.
So he's doing fuck all, really.
Yeah, he didn't do much.
Didn't
but,
do great at Chelsea either. Like, let's be fair.
But
He was a
all
baller
United-
at Atletico.
But he got a bad injury for the World Cup in 2014, I think.
That's right.
And kind of, yeah.
Okay, hit me with the
Yeah.
last one, and then we're going
Alright,
on to the
the
next
last
topic.
one. Here we go. This is a difficult one. Let's see. In my opinion, it's difficult.
Okay.
So he started at Benfica, then went to Alverca, then to Benfica. In that time, played one game for Benfica B, Porto, Dynamo Moscow, on loan at Chelsea, Atletico Madrid, on loan at Inter Milan, FC Cologne, and Sporting Lisbon. Sporting CP. Shouldn't say Sporting Lisbon apparently.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're actually called Sporting Club. Yeah.
Ah, a bit like Inter Milan, or not really Inter Milan, are they?
Yeah, and Athletic Bilbao.
Internazionale, as you saw Jimmy Carragher, you see him saying that?
Yes, I did to Leo.
Right, who am I going to get this?
So he's on loan at Chelsea. Before then it's Benfica, Porto.
I have a... Run me through the team again, go again.
Benfica, and then Alverca. Benfica, Porto, Dynamo Moscow, Chelsea on loan, Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan on loan, Cologne, and Sporting Club de Portugal.
2 guesses now. I'm thinking it's a little bit earlier. Is it Enrique de Lucas?
No.
Is it Sam Dalabana?
No.
Fuck.
He's Portuguese.
Alone. Oh, Manish.
He is indeed.
Oh,
He was
yes.
terrible at Chelsea.
Right, I will give you your last one now. I'm not going to
Manish.
read out the names of this. I'm just going to send it to you because there is a lot. If
Okay.
you're struggling with it and you don't get it instantly, we can start reading out the names.
Okay,
But
let's see.
I feel like you might get this very quickly. So,
I'm excited.
this is one of my favourite ones. I bring this out quite a lot. And actually, I'd be curious if you can name all the clubs on it as well.
Roy Carroll.
No. That's a good guess. That is a very solid
George
guess.
Best.
Yes!
Yeah. I saw Dunstable Town. They got it.
Did you know he played for Dunstable Town?
I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll go through the list of teams. Now, I have to say...
Luton, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is with the teams George Best played for, there's more than this, okay? But
Yeah,
they're
I
not
can
confirmed.
imagine.
He played the odd game here and there. I do know he played for Tobermory United back in Northern Ireland, but it's not on his Wikipedia page. So we have Manchester United, obviously. Dunstable Town, I think he played a couple of games for. Stockport County, Jewish Guild in South Africa, who I couldn't even get a logo for on the internet.
Yeah, wow.
LA Aztecs, Fulham he did alright at. Fort Lauderdale Strikers, I think he played for the Aztecs twice. San Jose Earthquakes, Cork Celtic, Hong Kong Rangers, a very interesting club that was started by a Scottish guy over in Hong Kong, who are still a club, but they don't don't keep the name Hong Kong Rangers now. They've changed their name.
Okay.
They're not officially affiliated with Rangers.
Are they allowed that logo as well?
Not
still?
anymore, I think.
Okay, I can imagine.
Hibs, Motherwell, Bournemouth when they were shite, Brisbane Lions, who are called Lions FC to differentiate them from the Aussie Rules team.
Okay.
And he played one game for Glentoran,
Alright.
Glens, where he's from.
There we go.
That was too easy. That
Yeah.
was too easy. Right, next time I'll make it harder.
You did good.
That was good. Right, let's get on to the crux
I
of
saw
this.
Roy Carroll because I think he was also had some time in Scotland.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know if he's at Fulham or not. He was at Derby for sure, but
he was a. He
not
was definitely on another
he was
Premier League
Northern
team.
Irish, along the right lines.
Finished at Linfield as well. I think he went to Greece for a while. He played for Olympiacos
Yeah, he did.
for a while. Played the Linfield. He was like 42. Always remember him for that goal. The
Pedro Mendes.
Pedro Mendes,
on
yeah.
the halfway line.
Yeah, Roy Carroll, God bless him.
That's such a good
Talking about as if he's dead, he's not dead. Right, okay, let's get into the crux of this episode. We've prepared some stuff, we're going to get into this. So, as we said earlier, Chelsea and Leverkusen players. A subject very close to my heart because when I had my job interview for Leverkusen, this is the first thing I learned how to say in German, was to go through all the players that had played for both clubs so I could impress them.
There we go.
And I wore this shirt to the interview.
I think we found there was 4.
4 significant ones anyway.
Yeah, 4 ones
There might
that
be
played
more.
in the first team for both.
Yeah. So what we've done is we prepared a little bit of information on both, 2 players each. We'll run through them and yeah, we'll have a chat about them. I'm curious to see what you've got together for yours.
I feel like Gareth's is going to be more anecdotes, interesting stories, and mine's going to be my...
Well, I'm not going to lie to you, you got the short straw. Okay, what 2 players did you get?
Alright, so I have got Callum Hudson-Odoi,
Yeah.
of course, on loan at Bayer Leverkusen.
No longer
The
anymore.
current season just gone. And André Schürrle.
Yeah.
Played for both clubs, went from Leverkusen to Chelsea, and of course retired at a very young age for a footballer.
Which, yeah. Now, André Schürrle and Callum Hudson-Odoi, I got the luck of getting Kai Havertz and Mikael Ballack.
Yeah.
So, you can certainly Google a lot more of those two.
A bit more of interesting careers.
Certainly, yeah.
For now.
But anyway, do you want to pick one of your players and see what you've dug up on them? I'm curious to see what you've got.
Yeah, so I'd say we'd start with Callum Hudson-Odoi, obviously
Yeah.
the most recent.
Can you ask me a
players
question?
for-
Sorry to interrupt you, but I've never asked you this before. Caltech, is that an Instagram thing or is that his actual nickname?
I don't know. It was his Instagram.
Yeah. I've never heard anyone refer to him as Caltech.
His Instagram name.
I like it. Anyway, continue.
Me and my brother called him that. I don't know why, but yeah, we followed him from I think he got his debut at Chelsea in 2018 under Conte.
Yeah,
because that 2017-18 season for Chelsea is pretty disappointing. Like, we finished 6th, I think, and Conte kind of gave up early. Terrible transfer window and that. But yeah, he got opportunity at the end of the season. But before we go into his time at Chelsea, maybe we'd talk about his season at Leverkusen. Probably not how we all hoped it went.
Did you dig up any facts and figures about it?
Yeah, well,
because I've heard a few.
Have you got something interesting?
I don't know if I want.
Mine's more kind of just like, well, actually in his first month,
looked all right, to be fair.
He did. He was nominated for Rookie of the Month, which is some Bundesliga thing they do. I think he got an assist on his debut. Nice cross in from the left hand side.
Yeah.
Scored against Atletico Madrid. So I think it's under the previous manager. Is the Swiss manager? What's his name?
Was it Peter Bosch?
No, it was like Sleon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he came from Young Boys and went to
his name, but
I should know that.
I only started working there in the same month as Xabi Alonso, so I only really give a shit from it now. Okay. That's not true.
But yeah, and then as soon as, like I said, once Xabi Alonso came in, for some reason or another, like of course we don't know, didn't really play much. And I mean, to be honest, Xabi Alonso did an amazing job. Like,
superb
he
job.
took them from 17th to
6th this year.
And the Europa League semi-final. Very unlucky not to win that.
Great performance.
But we can talk about Leverkusen in details another time, I'm sure. But for Hudson-Odoi, I'd say for himself, again, it's my opinion, for Chelsea fans and of course Leverkusen fans and the clubs, I'd say a disappointing season overall.
Where does Callum Hudson-Odoi go from here? I'm curious to see what you think of this, because Chelsea are selling like mad at the minute, apparently, trying to get a couple of deals.
Look, Chelsea have a lot of wide players, and the crazy thing is, all the hype around Mudryk, and I think he's going to be a great player.
Do you? Fuck.
Hudson-Odoi is younger than him.
Seriously?
Or a few months older than him, but they're both 22. Like,
that's mad.
That's the thing. Hudson-Odoi's been around for so long. Like, he's made his debut.
He was under Sarri.
2018-19 is his breakthrough season, which I'll touch on in a bit. And of course, 5 years later, he played for England actually before he played for Chelsea.
That's the Premier League. I remember that.
He's captained a couple of times for England, 3 times for England, I think. But yeah, he's only 22 still, and I'm not saying he's like, I don't know. I assume he'll be moved on in the summer. Maybe by the time he's released, he's already moved on, especially because he's a homegrown player, and it's selling homegrown players. You were saying this,
so explain that again. So selling homegrown players,
because they have no book value of being bought,
then
it's pure profit.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the same for Loftus-Cheek going as well. Mason Mount.
Again,
we could make another podcast episode on Chelsea's youth academy, and unfortunately they're all being sold now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Hudson-Odoi, I really remember his breakthrough at Chelsea. It was a pre-season. When Sarri came in, I think he played against Perth Glory and then Inter Milan.
Fuck, you really do have a memory. You really do.
But I remember his one game against Arsenal, absolutely terrorised Hector Bellerin.
I remember that.
He won a penalty. Morata missed, of course. And really, really good game. But then once the season started, I think it's the same. A lot of Chelsea managers, they don't have the time to experiment with youth.
No.
And didn't really get much of a chance. He did play most of the Europa League games, and I was actually there for his goal against PAOK, the Greek side.
Oh yeah. I do remember that.
Me and my brother were there, I think with my granddad. He managed to score then, and he scored a few times that season in the Europa League. I don't think he didn't score in the Premier League, but still didn't really get much of a chance in the Premier League. Made his debut for England, and then of course when the players get that much hype, other clubs are interested. And then Bayern Munich came in.
That's right. Munich apparently was very close to going.
Bayern Munich came in, handed the transfer request actually.
Yeah, that's right. Fuck.
And of course, it's like Chelsea hadn't had many youth. This is obviously before Mason Mount. This is before Tammy Abraham. I think Abraham made his debut.
Was this around the transfer ban time as well?
This before season.
Do we know it was coming though?
Before. I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. I think we did because we signed Pulisic that window and we didn't take him till the summer. So
that's right. Yeah.
Some sort
that's right. Actually, yeah.
Prediction of it was going to come in. And then once that rejection from Bayern Munich came in, of course he got more of a chance because we didn't want to sell him. And I think he was the youngest Chelsea player to get an assist on his first start for the club in the Premier League.
That's a good one.
I think it's for Giroud against Brighton. And then then it was that game against Burnley, and he done his ACL.
Yeah,
I think he was like controlling the ball or something.
Hasn't been the same since. Honestly, I think that's kind of the issue.
Like from what I can see, like he lost his pace, maybe
his confidence. To be honest,
like, didn't want to get injured or just didn't feel like he had the pace to beat a man.
Well, they've talked about this in Leverkusen as well, because Sardar Azmoun, the number 9, had a bit of a revival in the second half of the season. And Simon Ronfus, the director, came out and said he was sort of pushing Callum to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I think they saw a lot of potential in him, and they said in training he looks sharp, he looks good, but he's just lost that confidence to go running at a player.
Yeah. Going back to the time at Chelsea, like Lampard came in, he had a few opportunities, but nothing like starting like regularly, and then Tuchel came in, played him at wing back for a while,
which worked a bit, I thought.
It did. I think Tuchel's first 3 games he played him at
wing
back. I'm not sure if James was injured or
played everyone at wing back, to be fair. Like
Even Sterling played wing back under Potter.
Yeah.
But again, let's not go into too many topics today. But yeah, here we are in 2023, new season coming up. My guess will be he'll move on again. Let's see. By the time this episode comes out, it may have already happened, or maybe
if you were Chelsea manager, buy, sell or keep. Or sorry, sell or keep. We're not buying them. Obviously.
It's so difficult to predict because I think we're going to sell so many players, and so our winger options, Pulisic, I assume, will leave. Ziyech will leave. So left with Sterling, Mudryk, Madueke. So he might keep him, especially for the homegrown quota as well. Because also I feel like his value will be lower than like players like Gallagher, and Mount, etc.
Yeah.
But let's see.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed for Hudson-Odoi, because I think there's a great player in there still.
I totally agree.
But
I forgot he was so young.
Yeah. But speaking of great players, which one do you want to start with?
Fuck. I have some good ones now. Now, do you know what? I'm going to start with Michael Ballack. Okay. Mikael Ballack. We'll refer to him as that. Because on my stadium tours, I do bring this up quite a lot. Obviously, he was a bit of a Leverkusen legend. Played there twice, actually. Went back there.
Retired there as well, right?
Yeah, retired there in 2012. Wrapped up his career. But it's when you're doing the Leverkusen tours, the most well-known Leverkusen team is that 2002 team, which we will talk about some because it is a great story. Part of the reason I love the club, the romance of that. But Michael Ballack wore number 13, and it couldn't have been more fitting, because I'm looking at the list here. He has lost so many cup finals. He has got so many silver medals, and I've worked it out now that he has got 11 silver medals and 11 gold medals.
Is that including like
runners up in the Bundesliga?
Well?
Yeah. He's got a lot more than you thought. So he wore number 13 actually because of Rudy Feller. So apparently Rudy Feller was his favourite player, who had a lot more luck than Michael Ballack. Rudy Feller won the World Cup, won the Champions League with Marseille, won a few things. Michael Ballack wasn't so lucky. Few interesting
win the Champions League?
Nope, never did. Lost 2 finals, never quite got there.
Didn't win no international trophy.
No, a lot of injuries. To be fair, a superb footballer. Box to box midfielder.
One of my favourite
versatile.
As well. Like,
played anywhere, strong, calm, great presence, cool guy.
Good in the air.
Yeah, that header against United, I'll never forget that.
Power.
One of my favourite games. That. But yeah, so Ballack. One of the interesting things I would love to talk about this more someday is, so he was born in East Germany, and he played for Chemnitz, which is out there in the east near Dresden kind of direction. And when the unification of Germany happened and the Bundesliga was formed, a lot of the East German clubs, because of the political situation there, had less money. So a lot of players came to West Germany, and the West German clubs bought them up cheap. And Ballack wasn't one of them, but Leverkusen had a bit of a history of doing that.
Okay.
So Ballack played for Chemnitz. He got relegated in the first year he was there. He went to Kaiserslautern, and that's when he moved into West Germany. Now, at Kaiserslautern, I'm saying this, his debut was against Bayer Leverkusen.
Okay.
There's a lot of these with like Ballack. He actually won the Bundesliga there. So they won the Bundesliga. FC Kaiserslautern.
Third tier now or second tier?
I think they might. Yeah, I think they're the third now.
Yeah.
But yeah, he won the Bundesliga there. He got to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, got knocked out by Bayern Munich, another future team.
There we go.
Finally joins Leverkusen in 1999. Great player, part of a great team. But I'm more focused on the unlucky side of things because it's just brilliant. So the bad luck starts here after the relegation with Chemnitz. In 1999-2000, Leverkusen are cruising to the title, to be totally honest, cruising to it. Last game of the season, they need a draw against, I think it was Arminia Bielefeld. That's all they need, a draw, and they'll get the title. Now, Leverkusen have never won the Bundesliga, still haven't won it, hadn't had a trophy in a long time. They just needed a draw. Michael Ballack scores an own goal and they lose 2-0. And Munich go on to win the Bundesliga that year, and that's where it starts. So 2002, in the space of a week, Leverkusen lose the Champions League final against Real Madrid. They lose the German Cup final against Schalke, and they finish second in the Bundesliga again. Michael Ballack finished the top scorer that year for Leverkusen, but
a great personal season, but
another 3 silver medals for Ballack. So that brings us up to 4 now, I think, in total. He goes on to Munich. Actually, before he goes to Munich.
What happens in the summer?
Yeah, 6 weeks after losing 3 trophies in a week, he goes on to lose the World Cup final with Germany against Brazil. A great World Cup he had as well that year. Starts most of the games. Another silver medal.
Good goal scoring record for Germany, I think. From
Superb. One of the highest. I think he's their third or fourth
goals, I think.
Yeah, he's got a good whack. I think he's their third record goal scorer, if I'm not mistaken. World Cup final loss, goes to Bayern Munich. 3 out of the 4 years he does the double. Okay, Cup and League. Doesn't win the Champions League. Does score twice in the Cup final 2002 against Kaiserslautern to beat them. So another lovely bit of serendipity there. He does get, I didn't know this actually, I looked this up. So apparently Franz Beckenbauer had accused him of starting to not throw games, but that he'd sort of give up tools. He downed tools towards the end of 2006 because he knew his contract was out. So he was accused of saving his strength for a potential new team. He had a really terrible German Cup final that year as well. They won it anyway. But yeah, he was accused of saving his strength. So Beckenbauer kind of turned on him, which was awkward because...
And was Beckenbauer at Bayern Munich at the time?
Yes. Okay. And Beckenbauer his nickname was Der Kaiser, and Ballack was known as the Little Kaiser. So he looked up to him a lot, and yeah. So he does get 1 Bundesliga runners-up medal with Munich in that time as well, but he wins 3, so that's a good period. Chelsea comes in...
And sorry to cut in, 2004-5, who knocked Bayern Munich out of the Champions League.
I remember that one as well. Frank Lampard with that turn-in goal.
Yes.
Chelsea, yeah.
And actually, that was my first
4-2, wasn't it?
Real memory of Ballack. And
I remember that as well, yeah.
Dived. Terrible dive and won a penalty at the last minute.
That's right,
in the first leg.
I remember him screaming for it as well.
The second leg, Chelsea won. Drogba, great header. I think they played in the Olympic Stadium then at the time.
That's right, that's right, they did.
Proper like running track, old school,
awful,
European stadium.
Awful. You're right, 2004. Yeah. That's a good one actually. Missed that in my fucking notes. 2006 keeps number 13. Who do they take number 13 off? The Giverman, who then goes who then famously goes on a fucking strop. Apparently claimed he was going to score an own goal. I have heard he took out like a super injunction against media outlets for saying that. So if you don't like it, William, you can come and fucking get me. I'm not listening to you.
I'm not sure we're a media outlet,
Yeah, we are. To our one follower. Hi mum. He gets number 13, keeps that. I don't know why the fuck he does, because then the bad luck continues. 2007 misses the FA Cup final through injury. We win that FA Cup final, first one at Wembley. Misses that one. Does get the medal anyway, so we'll count it as a win.
The League Cup as well that season.
Yeah.
Who have we beat in the final?
Arsenal. Yeah. So he gets that. Okay. 2007, 2008, he gets the runners-up in the League Cup and the Champions League. So lose the Champions League final. That's 3 more silver medals. And then that summer, 2008, Euro final to Spain. Loses that as well. Another runners-up medal. 2009, he does win the FA Cup. He finally gets round to it. And in 2009-2010, he does the double. But in the FA Cup final, he gets injured and misses his last
Do you know
ever...
who injured him?
Is it Boateng? Yeah. So he misses his last World Cup as captain for Germany. So he pisses off back to Leverkusen and did nothing there. That was kind of it. He just went out with a bit of a whimper. So he ended his career with 11 silver medals and 11 gold medals, which is a very beautiful story.
Very good.
It's not bad.
But it could have been...
I still feel sorry for him never getting the Champions League.
Yeah, could have been Champions League, World Cups.
It could have been.
Euros, could have been the perfect career nearly. I'm not sure how many players have won. I guess a lot of the Spanish squad from 2008, 2012 probably won.
Pedro was one of the few players to win everything, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because he won the Club World Cup as well.
True, yeah.
And he won the Europa League, so I think he's the only player to have done all the major ones that you can't win.
Yeah, but not many.
Because Messi's done it too, but he's never won the Europa League.
Germans have won.
No, fuck off. So that's the Michael Ballack story, which I love. I love it.
Yeah.
So what have you dug up on André Schürrle?
André Schürrle.
I have a nice memory of him.
Huh?
The Burnley goal.
Yeah.
The Fabregas
that's
assist.
something I was going to touch on, but we go into that straight away. The Fabregas assist, first day of the... I think actually was the first day of the 2014-15 season.
It was. It was in August.
Away
I watched it.
Yeah. 1-0 down.
Was his debut then? Competitive debut?
No, he joined the season before.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he joined 2013-14. Yeah. And of course joined from Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah.
A bit of a personal link to me and André Schürrle.
Yeah.
He was born in Ludwigshafen.
Oh, you told me this,
near, there's this town or city near Mannheim.
Yeah.
And I have a friend who lives in Mannheim. We went for a club night in Ludwigshafen.
Yeah, you told me this.
A great club called Music Park. If you
Yeah.
want to sponsor us. But
And
yeah,
give us money, please. Yeah.
of course, André Schürrle, unfortunately, well, maybe not unfortunately, I think it's what he wanted in the end. Like he said, he fell out of love with football, found it quite lonely, didn't enjoy the competition, and retired at 29.
29.
But I'd say within the very short career, especially in football, he did achieve a lot.
Yeah.
Not much I can touch on really about his time in Leverkusen because it's kind of before my time, like as in following, like I was 2011 to 2013.
Don't think you missed a huge amount to be totally honest.
But he scored, I think he scored like 23 goals in 80 games, so it's a pretty decent return for a young player, for a winger.
He was.
And of course, joined Chelsea 2013-14 under Mourinho. I'd say again, maybe not the most consistent. I think he played well, but I mean, didn't really start. I think he actually started as many games he was subbed on or something in his first season. Like he.
But there was a good little amount of like forward players that year.
Yeah, I mean,
even De Bruyne couldn't get into the team that
true,
year.
Yeah.
Salah as well was he there?
Sold.
Man of his soul, that's right. Yeah,
that's wild. How could have been for Chelsea?
Yeah, fuck, don't even bother.
But yeah, so some good memories though. I'd say André Schürrle. His goal against Burnley.
Yeah.
Hat trick against Fulham, of course, who he joined in the end. I'm not sure if you remember that hat trick. It was a really nice Craven Cottage. Do you remember his goal against PSG when Demba Ba scored that last minute winner?
I do, yeah.
I think it's like straight from a throw. It's like kind of a scuff volley.
We played PSG a few times in those years because I just moved to Paris at that time. I fucking hated it.
Of course, yeah. But yeah, he has some good memories, good moments. I mean, he scored the almost a winner against City at the Etihad 2014-15 and actually left during that season. But Mourinho actually sent him the medal because he played enough games to qualify, even though he was sold.
Oh really?
I'm not sure Mourinho gave him his own medal or he got a medal and that should have been for sure.
There's something we have to find out.
But
Andre, if you're watching, what happened with him?
Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't say there's not too much to touch on Schürrle. Again, really good player on his day, has some good memories. I'm sure for Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah.
Went to Dortmund, went to Fulham, of course, Spartak Moscow.
He did go back to Fulham.
Wolfsburg. Right. I think he won goal of the month at Fulham as well. He won goal of the month at Chelsea and Fulham. So there we go.
Oh, that's quite a good one.
But for Germany, 22 goals in 57 games.
Yeah, he was a baller for Germany.
And of course, you know his biggest moment for Germany,
which I kind of forgot about until you told me this. Yeah,
the winning assist for Mario Götze against Argentina.
Oh, yeah.
I think he also scored 2 goals against Brazil in that 7-1 demolition. Let's say.
Yeah, I think everyone scored in that game.
Yeah, that's true. Kadira got a couple of goals. I think Müller, Ozil, Kroos. But yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, to be fair, then that's quite a glittering career in the end.
It was good. But yeah,
I forgot about that.
Again, not too much to add, but do you know what he's up to these days in football?
Please tell me it's something good.
I don't think anything in football, but apparently I saw on the news, he's now climbing mountains in minus 20 degrees, half naked.
Okay.
So that's his new hobby, I guess.
Is it a...
No, I think it's just for fun. I think he's trying to challenge himself in the cold and...
Yeah.
That's what I saw. That's the latest news I saw about André Schürrle.
Fuck me.
I assume he's only back.
I did not know that.
Back into football.
So he didn't become a monk like Matthias Kesman then?
No, unfortunately not. But you know, he's challenging himself still, and again, round it off in Schürrle. But I mean, he did a pretty good job at Chelsea. I'm sure he has.
I never disliked him.
Yeah,
I thought he was alright.
He was a solid player. Played at striker sometimes, on the left, on the right. Very hard working, good finisher. Just not too many opportunities. But again, lots of Chelsea players at that time.
Did he win the league? Was he there the first season Jose was there?
Yeah, he was there for the second season, and he left, but he got sent in the middle because he played.
Oh, that was for the league. Sorry, I thought it was the cup. Sorry.
Yeah, and I guess he would have maybe got a Carabao Cup medal as well. But he left in the January during the season. He did technically get a winners medal.
Okay, I always liked him.
Yeah,
the last player. Last player. Well, Kai Havertz. Yeah. Not much to say about Kai because I've been reading in the news this morning. This is going to age like fucking milk.
As we're recording.
We read that he might be going to Real Madrid, so if he does, we're going to cut this entire section out of the podcast
on that,
and he'll fuck off.
I love him.
I love him, but I don't want him to leave.
He'll be so good at Madrid.
Oh, fuck him if he goes to Madrid.
I think.
But I've heard he's a very sensitive soul as well, so he might end up like a bit of an Eden Hazard. I think he will.
And Hazard got kicked too much. I also heard he wasn't the most passionate for football. I think Havertz actually.
No, Havertz loved eating chips and mayonnaise and then turning up to training and overweight.
Chilling with donkeys.
Yeah.
Actual donkeys.
No, well, that's Kai Havertz. So
Kai,
Kai, yeah. That's the only thing. When I was doing the research for this podcast, I typed in Kai Havertz and my autofill goes straight to donkeys. I've brought this up so many times. I've sat in so many pubs on a night out with Germans here because people know him. We have a connection to this. So our friend Jakob, his sister went to school with him in Aachen.
Yeah.
And there's so many times.
Boy. He gets his hair cut in Cologne.
He does,
well.
yeah. He comes over. I don't know where. Obviously, I don't fucking know where it is. Like, I don't go for haircuts.
I know where it is.
Do you?
It's called Bonjour or something.
Oh.
We can say that because he posted it on his profile.
He does, actually, yeah, to be
it's
fair.
not like a secret.
But yeah, so I will frequently be with German people, and yeah, you know when you wake up at 3 o'clock and you see what your search history was on your phone? Mine will very often be Kai Havertz donkeys. And I'll be showing people going, Kai Havertz loves donkeys, and people don't believe you. Like, Kai Havertz got a donkey sanctuary. And he fucking does. He does. So,
but he also has, I saw on Instagram as well, he has a charity as well.
It's the same charity, so it's been expanded into different areas now. So he's doing
he's a really good guy.
elderly care, youth development, all that kind of stuff. He's getting involved in everything.
Very good guy. He's 23 as well.
He's a sweetheart.
Very young.
He's a sweetheart. He's got a lovely dog, Baloo. Have you seen his dog?
I have seen.
He's very happy. He's a very sweet guy.
Yeah.
I do remember reading that he struggled a lot with pressure, and yeah, he's a very sensitive guy. Tuchel was very good to him in that sense.
He came in to main man at Leverkusen like 17, 18.
Yeah, well, he was the youngest.
Chelsea at 20. Like,
he's so young. Like, he's still only 23 now.
And I think he probably wouldn't have joined Chelsea if it wasn't for COVID, because Madrid wanted him. He didn't have the money.
Yeah, couldn't afford him. Yeah.
Chelsea were the only club that really afford him.
Yeah, and we got lucky with that. But yeah, so yeah, what else have I dug up on him? So yeah, as you said, youngest player ever in the Bundesliga, which was actually broke by Florian Wirtz, another Leverkusen player, who hopefully will come to Chelsea as well, to be honest, because Florian's a hell of a player. Made his Champions League debut against Atletico Madrid in the quarter-final and missed the return leg because he was doing school exams. So there you are, that's how young he was.
That is pressure.
And the youngest player to play 50 games in the Bundesliga, and who was it before? Timo Werner,
of course.
Another Chelsea connection. I love that.
So
I love
many
that
connections.
fucking serendipity. So yeah, the transfer. I looked up a lot of stuff on that. It was fascinating. They looked at it a year in advance. Apparently, the thing that sort of swayed it at the end was Frank Lampard. Very persuasive.
Yeah.
Which it's weird to look back at now, because at that time I remember being such a fan of Frank Lampard and thinking, yeah, he's doing magic here.
Yeah, because the season before, the transfer ban, the youth players, like, he did really well.
Yeah. Oh fuck, where was
there we go.
So yeah, and Marina, who's also gone now as well.
Yeah.
Whose name I can't remember. Ravnitskaya.
Yeah.
So apparently she took Fernando Caro down to the south of France, and that was she charmed him into giving us Kai Havertz. I've met Fernando Caro. He's not a man that is easy charmed. I'll tell you now. Sorry, Fernando, if you're watching. He's definitely not. But I've met Fernando Caro, and he is a wonderful man, but a tough man as well. I take a lot to charm him. Oh, he is. He does a good bit of business.
So it sounds like we did a good job then.
So yeah, we got him. What else can we say about Kai Havertz? A couple of great goals. I haven't made a note of this, but I do remember his first goals. He scored a hat-trick against Barnsley. Yeah, that's right. In the League Cup or the FA Cup, third round.
League Cup, yeah.
Won Chelsea in the Champions League. Okay, that's all we need to know. If he goes on to Real Madrid, I don't really care.
And the Club World Cup.
Wow.
It's a good trophy. You only win it if you win the Champions League, so
true.
Not really
true.
close.
And we did lose it the first time, so
true.
Yeah. But yeah, he won Chelsea in the Champions League. He'll always have a spot in my heart. I love him. I absolutely love him.
Yeah,
I'd be heartbroken if he goes.
He moves on, but even for me, it's difficult to turn down Madrid. Living in Spain, biggest club in the world. Maybe I wouldn't leave because I'm a Chelsea fan, of course. But for like someone who's not,
that's why we haven't got contracts.
But yeah, like I think he'll do a great job there, especially with players like Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo on the outside of him.
But yeah, you think he's going to play as number 9 then? Because it's not really his position. He's not a false 9.
I don't know. Like
he's not.
I don't know what his position is. I wouldn't say he can play behind a striker because he's not the most creative. But I remember at Leverkusen his last season, he was like
everywhere to be fair, but
the 9, but he had 2 like fast wingers outside.
Very fast wingers,
Bailey,
yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's Diaby.
Julian Brandt was there at the time.
Yeah, it could have been Diaby as well on the outside around then, like coming through.
But yeah, Leverkusen had a big tradition of fast players on the wing.
Yeah, and like he was just arriving in the box and finishing. But of course he was super fast as well. Like glides across the pitch.
He's a strange player, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's times I've watched him.
He's a luxury player, and it's hard to fit him in to like the best teams.
What do you mean by luxury player? As in a luxury
like
in style of football?
Yeah, like the way he plays is like very calm and like I don't know, like maybe sometimes you don't even notice what he's doing because he's doing so much but subtly. Like it's hard work. He's holding the ball up. He's doing like nice touches, which I think people take for granted, but he does it
Yeah.
so well, and so many players he does it well nearly every time.
I know what you mean. He reminds me a little bit of Berbatov.
Yeah,
He's that style of player, silky smooth, but
Yeah.
looks lazy as fuck sometimes, to be totally honest. But he's not. We know he's not. But
he works super hard.
I love him.
Yeah, and remember his goal against Newcastle? I think it was this season.
Yeah.
Finish.
And do you remember the time? Who was it? The Everton player he pushed over. Do you remember that? Where the Everton player got into him? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he pushed over. That was fucking great.
Yeah,
and there was a few times against Madrid. Do you remember where he kicked the ball away and pretended to pick it up? Yeah. So he's
had some great moments.
He's a bit of a shite box, which I have a lot of time for.
Yeah. He wants to win.
Yeah, I hope he does. I hope he stays at Chelsea. I think we haven't seen totally the best of him yet.
It's a new era at Chelsea now. It's going to be lots of changes.
Don't want to talk about Chelsea too much.
That's another episode.
I just don't want to talk about them. They're fucking shite. But anyway, just to finish up on Kai Havertz then, before we wrap this up, I think the donkeys. Okay, that is the thing about Kai Havertz I want to talk about, because that's all that really interests me. So his teammates at Chelsea call him, I just think they call him Donkey. It wasn't really clear. I'm not sure if it's a translation issue, because if they call him a donkey, I don't know about you in England, but back home we call someone a donkey as a striker. It's not great.
Yeah.
So I think they just call him Donkey, and apparently it's because he likes donkeys as well, because they're very chilled, calm, relaxed. He sees a bit of himself in that. So he got a toy donkey when he was 3, and he was 18. His parents adopted 3 donkeys for him in the zoo. Where you support them. You don't actually bring them home.
When he's 18?
Yeah.
Nice.
So you don't actually bring them home. It's like adopt a donkey where you pay like €1 a month or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Like when you adopted a polar bear when you were younger and it never came.
Sure. Disappointing.
Still waiting. So he started a charity for donkeys. I actually read a story once as well, but I couldn't find this again. So this could have been something like Jakob's sister said to me when I was drunk. But apparently he went to a butcher's in Aachen when he was younger and saw donkey meat on the menu. And that was one of the reasons why he got around to be fair, Germans would eat anything, so I wouldn't be surprised. So he loves donkeys, and he's now got the Kai Havertz Stiftung, which is a charity for donkeys, animals.
A very good guy.
Lovely fella. So
hope to see him in Cologne one day.
Yeah.
Love to talk to him about his...
Speaks good English as well.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, like most Germans speak really good English.
Yeah, to be fair.
But yeah, I think it'd be a shame if he moves on, but
I'd be heartbroken.
You can't.
The sentiment to me would just...
Again, many players, I understand when they move to Madrid, and the money that's being quoted and the rebuild Chelsea needs, it's difficult to turn it down. Especially only 2 years left in his contract. If he's not going to sign,
I'd be heartbroken.
Yeah.
I was heartbroken when Timo Werner left, and I'm going to be heartbroken when Mason Mount leaves.
Yeah.
And Kai Havertz. It's the end of that era.
Kovacic is going. Loads of players.
Rudiger's already went. That era of the Champions League with the team.
Azpilicueta can move on.
Well, he's leaving now, isn't he? That's confirmed, isn't it? More or less.
Kante's contract's up.
Oh God, don't break my heart.
That final team could be missing apart from...
Who's left?
Reece James and Chilwell. And Thiago Silva.
Oh, yeah, true.
Mendy, I assume, will move on as well.
Yeah, who's in the midfield? Yeah, well, yeah.
Kovacic and Kante. Jorginho gone. Wow, everyone's good.
That's heartbreaking.
It really is a rebuild. But
yeah, we'll have to get on that another time. It's
football, isn't it?
Well, listen here. That's an hour. We've talked for an hour. How do you feel about your first podcast?
I enjoyed it. But it doesn't really matter what we think.
No,
depends
what that one person watching thinks. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Just our girlfriends.
Yeah, it's definitely. My mum's watching. Hi, Mum.
And my mum as well.
Is your mum going to watch? Yeah.
Of course she will.
She fucking has to.
I sent it to my family.
I swore too much. My mum can't watch this.
You bleep it out. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm doing the editing. So
I'm the nice guy.
You're the looks. Yeah. You're the looks. Yeah. So
but
we're going to get the fuck out of here then, are we? We're going to wrap this up. We're going to get out of here.
I think this is... From what I enjoyed this.
What have we got to look forward to? Tell them quickly what they got to look forward to next week, because we do these once a week now.
Of course, yeah. Every day we're on this.
Yeah.
So, with of course Pochettino joining Chelsea and a disappointing season, I'd say we maybe not look back too much at last season, but look forward to the next season.
Or should we just get our hands in the last season?
Yeah.
Just analyse it. Just do the dirty work.
I'd say we could talk about some of our favourite games from last season, our favourite games
fuck off
we've been to, our favourite games from history, in general football, I mean.
Yeah, I want to get on to that.
We'll continue to research some games. It might be fun for the viewers. And of course, if you've got any ideas, send them in. Send in your tic-tac-toe boards, please.
Oh yeah,
we can't create that ourselves.
Actually, that's a good idea. So tic-tac-toe boards, and if anyone wants to send in some Wikipedia things as well, career paths or any football trivia, I promise we will look up the answers before. Or
guess the team, like you put the flags in and the formation. You've got to guess at which team is this.
Yeah. So any trivia you want to fire us, let us have a go at it because I genuinely think I'm getting quite good at it. So
I love this.
And
Gareth's are too easy, so I need something harder.
Yeah, mine were too easy. Right, we're gonna leave it there then. Thank you very much, Joe. We had a blast.
Thank you, Gareth.
Guys, we'll see you hopefully in 1 week. We'll be there.
See you in 1 week.
Cheerio.
Enjoy.